Hi, welcome to the session IT and OT Cybersecurity Strategy, Building and Drafting an IT OT ICS Cybersecurity Strategy Document. This is Securing Things by Mohammad Yusuf Faisal. So some background, continuing from one of the previous sessions, titled Digital Transformation and Cybersecurity Strategy, parallel between the two. A high-level overview on both strategic topic was defined, and we'll be expanding further on drafting and writing an IT/OT cybersecurity for any critical infrastructure or industrial organization. Cybersecurity strategy journey begins with discovery process, as we highlighted earlier, identifying your business inventory. This includes, but not limited to, an inventory on the IT side, IT technology stack, OT, IoT technology stack, and data inventory across all layers of the automation lifecycle, plus the physical layer, sensors, actuator, machines, etc. for each site, along with the internal and external connections. The discovery or assessment process is explained in the OT security assessment session in helping discover the required business inventory. Next step is identifying the individuals and respective teams that will be leading the execution of this strategy, which is a must-have before embarking on this journey in order to have clear ownership and the accountability. Therefore, appointing a suitable CISO and or cybersecurity director or lead, typically under the CISO or CIO organization for cybersecurity program, is critically essential. Once the business inventory is identified and documented, cybersecurity leader has been appointed. The next logical step is drafting a cybersecurity strategy document, followed by choosing or selecting a preferred framework to be used as reference to build program elements around the strategy document. The combined or integrated IT/OT cybersecurity strategy documents takes input from multiple sources, for example, comprehensive discovery and assessment exercise that we have performed that highlights inventory, associated risk, vulnerabilities, and threats, and prioritize remediation action plan or the roadmap. The strategy document should be reviewed by all stakeholders that are directly responsible, sponsoring and or supporting the execution of the strategy, and approved by the relevant stakeholders. The content of the document may cover include the following elements. It must have an acknowledgement section, clearly outlines purpose, critical definitions, the objectives and scope as a starting point. Maybe in the next page you want to include message from the leadership or executives, for example, your CEO or your CISO organization for that matter. Then a next section would be an executive summary section, which would define and highlight the summary of the strategy document, and like why we are doing this, what is expected, and who is it for. Then within the executive summary section or a separate section, we would define like business vision and aligning the cybersecurity vision and mission in line with the business vision. Then we'll include approach and methodology for framework selection that we would want to adopt, and certain benefits, cost, return on investments. We would also need to highlight certain risk and assumptions to the strategy. And then we will define a one-pager cybersecurity strategy, which would clearly highlight, probably in a graphical format, your goals and objectives. Then you will have the goals, objectives, and workstream mappings, which will outline the detailed goals, relevant objectives of those goals, and then relevant workstream numbers, which are your strategy initiatives. Then you will have a section called strategy execution roadmap, and would also include recurring and BAU related activities. So it's kind of like a schedule, a big roadmap schedule, and things that will be business as usual later on after you have executed the strategy. After that, you will define each goal objectives by the work stream description. And then you are going to highlight the status framework mapping for that work stream. What are the expected business outcomes would be looking like, and then the potential KPI measurements and all that. In the last, you will going to conclude the document with the conclusion section, and then in the appendix you will have different details like acronyms used, or other reference or related documents. So keep the document concise and simple to understand. The length of the document should be in between no longer than 30 to 50 pages at most. Update the document whenever necessary, or at least every 2 to 3 years cycle. And the next step is document minimum technical requirements as part of that framework. Document required security policies, the do's and don'ts later on. For building such policies, check out our future session on the policy and governance for OT and IT cybersecurity. Document Industry 4.0 IoT ready reference architecture for building a resilient network architecture for your transformation journey. We'll cover that in more detail in network security architecture and segmentation session. Next, for the IT/OT environment, establish a practice of creating cybersecurity requirement specification, or OTCVPRS, for all greenfields and or brownfield operations and or upgrade. Cybersecurity requirement specification per IEC ISA 62443 standards include the following elements. The requirement specification are based on organizational policies and standards, the high-level risk assessment, mandatory security function for system under control or SUC, and any applicable regulatory requirements. So each requirement specification document should include the following requirements: the system under consideration, operating environment assumption, mandatory security function, threat landscape, current tolerable risk, regulatory requirements, system architecture and design, definition of zones and conduits, the defined target security levels, network segmentation requirements, access control needs, endpoint security controls, for example, operating system and device hardening, etc. Then you will have detection and monitoring and response time capabilities, applicable policies and procedures, and if needed, physical security controls as well. In terms of reference strategy documents, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency CISA of USA have a few relevant documents as below. That is CISA Global Strategic Plan 2023 to 2025. It's a good document to read. They also have Strategic Technology Roadmap Overview 2021 to 2025. And earlier, US White House has also prescribed a new 69-point National Cybersecurity Strategy Implementation Program in July 2023, which highlights 5 key pillars. Pillar 1, defending critical infrastructure, which is to update the National Cybersecurity Incident Response Plan. Pillar 2 is disrupting and dismantling threat actors and combat ransomware. Pillar 3, shaping market forces and driving security and resilience for software bill of materials. And then Pillar 4, investing in resilient future, that is to drive key cybersecurity standards. And lastly, the Pillar 5, forging international partnership to pursue shared goals, international cyberspace and digital policy strategy. So in case it's time for you documenting your first IT/OT cybersecurity strategy, or time for an update or rewrite, please feel free to reach out via DM or get in touch with the email address in the comments below for any business needs, project support, discussion, or simply information sharing. I hope this has been informative, and we'll see you in future videos. Thank you very much. It's a great day to start securing things. Take care. Bye.